Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Marvel Legends action figure of Hela from Thor Ragnarok. Not that packaging is terribly exciting, but I do find it interesting that this is one of the only Marvel Legends figures I've seen that has a second plastic tray to hold contents in. But what I find annoying is that her head is on one side of the bubble, the plastic, but the rest of her headdress is on the other side. Sometimes you see that with capes, but at least the cut of the cape is enough to pull it through. But this, you're going to have to take a pair of scissors and cut this plastic out, or, you know, unplug her head from the figure and pull the head through the other way. Just kind of weird, kind of annoying. Holy frick, this figure looks rad. What can I say? The sculpt on the costume details are just flippin' amazing. Surface texture is great. The black, you can see how textured that little fabric is supposed to be, but then you can see the green that's going over it, and the fact that it's not just one kind of level, but you're kind of getting multiple little kind of levels going over each other, as I almost knocked the figure over. Here's a closer look at her feet, which are kind of small. In the figure, I kind of have to make her kind of lean forward a bit to get her to stand upright, but the details within the sculpt overall are very good as far as like the legs and feet goes, and then the butt and the back. You can see all the little green lines going down there. Just pretty much that's the same tone you get. The textured black and then the harder green. And they all look great. Really cleanly painted. You can see there's a little bit of like dropped paint or smeared paint on her right like breastplate there. But the skin paint is decent. It gets a little kind of wonky right at the edges of the ball jointed shoulder. I don't really like seeing that ball joint break up the skin sculpt, but oh well. Texture going on the hands and arms is really good. Even the placement of this hand, yeah, the middle finger is bent a little bit, but the rest of the fingers rest naturally. I like the nail paint and the grip on the right hand. Where this figure really succeeds is the head. Just look at that magnificent thing. This is an awesome looking head for a figure. The sculpt of all her little antler things look great. Now, upon second inspection, I do wish that this little headpiece went up a little higher, or this one went a little bit lower so they'd be a little more even. Also, I think this one is a little bit lower than this one. I wish they were a little more even, but that's nothing too drastic. I mean, the work that went into these and how it was assembled and just looks so damn cool, that's pretty awesome. Also, the likeness here of Cate Blanchett's face is pretty strong. You can just see, just from the chin and the lips and the nose, let alone, you know, just like the rest, the cheeks and the eyes. The little forehead piece looks really cool too. Now there is an alternate head, which I will go put on now. For what it's worth, the head's popped off and on really easily. And the likeness here, I think, is just freaking fantastic. Now I think the shininess of her skin is registering on camera more than it really does in person. Her head isn't this shiny, but geez, the sculpt of the chin again, the cheekbones, and then the way they kind of printed her eyes on. I know Hasbro's been doing a lot of like 3D scanning lately of their actors, so I think you're getting some of that there. The eye effect here looks great. The shadowing around the eyes looks great, and then just the paint on her lips. I'm really digging this. Eyebrows look good, and you can see that there is like a little bit of like the little veiny lines above her eyes by the forehead. Now this one does have a little bit of excess plastic around the chin and jawline area. I might have to go file that down. But to me, there's no denying the likeness of Cate Blanchett here. This is one of the best likenesses I think Hasbro's ever done. Holy crap. Yeah, I love this. And from multiple angles, just, you know, looking up, looking down, look from the side, even the profile here. Really great stuff. And then the sculpt of the hair is rad too. Just the way it's blowing, all the different lines that you can kind of see going on there. I mean, we've had different kind of hairstyles that have some kind of effect, but I mean, the fact that there's a top section here, which is kind of assembled over the bottom section, there's multiple pieces here just to make this hair effect happen, and I think Hasbro just did a great job of that, so props to them. There is also a cape, which I'll put on the figure in a moment, but here it is just on its own, so you can sort of see just the way the little, you know, the way it hangs. Also, the figure comes with her sword. It's just, you know, a piece of plastic. There's not much to it. There's some nice sculpting going on there as far as the details of her sword. And then the figure comes with the right arm. Ah, I just dropped it. The right arm of the Hulk Build-A-Figure. You can just see the little, like, you know, designs on his arm and his little glovey thing. And one of his weapons, this big axe-looking thing. Now I'll put the cape on. The cape's just got a plug in the back right here, and it goes into the hole at the top of her shoulders, kind of right behind her neck. You want to make sure that these little green things go over her shoulders. One of the problems I'm having with this figure is the fact that it wants to kind of fall back anyway, and I'm having to make her lean over. Adding some weight to the back with the cape isn't really doing it any favors, and it keeps wanting to fall over. I mean, I really got to lean her way the fudge over to get her to stand upright, and even then, look how much I have to have her bend over. I mean, that's crazy. But it is what it is. I'm probably going to have to display this without the cape, or at least lean it up against like a surface, like the back of a wall or something. I mean, you can pop her head up at least, so she looks like she's ready to like attack. But yeah, despite how stupid it is that I'm trying to get her to stand with this cape pulling all of her weight down, I love this figure, and I'll tell you why. Besides the obvious that the sculpt is great and it's pretty cleanly painted, Cate Blanchett is one of my favorite actors ever. Like, top two. Fun fact, Gary Oldman, Cate Blanchett. That's it. Those are the best of the best of the best. I love action figures. I love Cate Blanchett. So you make an action figure of Cate Blanchett, and I'm happy. Like, I'm really happy. At the time of this review, Thor Ragnarok is still 3 months away from coming out. So I don't even know if Hela sucks or not. But it's Cate Blanchett as a toy. I love it. This figure is also really well done, so I can't complain. Thanks for watching, everybody, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. Oh, by the way, I get a little tired of talking about the same articulation over and over and over in videos, but if anyone cares, this has the usual Hasbro articulation of the hinge swiveling ankles, the double knee joint, the mid-thigh cut. There is no cut at the waist, but there is a mid-torso cut. It's a ball joint under the bust. There is the hinge swiveling shoulders, the hinge swiveling elbows, no bicep cut, but full swivel at the elbows. Hinged swiveling wrists. This right hand goes up and down. The left hand goes side to side. And then there is a ball joint inside the head and a hinge forward and back at the top of the neck. Okay, thanks, bye.